Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to the Do It Right Tech channel where I take you through everything tech. And in today's video, I'm excited to be showing you some tips and features that you're not using on your Samsung phone, rendering it underused. And these range from very simple page up, page down toggles, buttons you can put on your screen, to snoozing of notifications, and even visual changes to your internet browser. Most of these would actually be very impactful. Stay tuned till the end, but don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button to come back for more, and let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Thank you all, and let's go into the video. While I was doing the intro to this video, every now and then you see me touch the screen because my screen is trying to go off. But there are settings you can do on your phone to ensure that this really never happens and your phone screen stays on longer, especially if you're doing reading or you're taking some notes from your phone and you're not using any media like YouTube, which is going to then keep the screen on. So let me show you how to get your screen on for a longer period if you're used to using your screen for activities like reading. All right, so what you're going to do now is come down here into settings, and once you're in settings, you're going to go to display. In display, you're going to scroll down until you see screen timeout. Now here we have it at 30 seconds, so you're just going to tap on it and set it for any time that you want. So if you want it for 1 minute, you can keep it at 1 minute, but for somebody who shoots content like myself, 5 minutes is a good time, so it stays on for a very long time. But if you're a reader, someone who likes to read on your screen, you can just toggle this on, which keeps screen on while you're viewing. That means the cameras are going to be looking at your eye, and as long as you're looking at the screen is going to stay on. So for readers, you can toggle this on. All right, if you didn't know this, I'm glad I was able to show you. The next tip is the ability to put page down and page up buttons underground here, especially for people who use the navigation buttons. In a snap, we're going to be looking at me already setting up the page up and page down buttons, and then I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so if we look here, we can see a page down and a page up button at the base of the phone. Now, this is useful for, again, people who like reading. For example, in my internet browser, when I hit on page down, it's just going to scroll on its own down, so then I don't need to be touching my screen while reading. Now, let me show you how. Now, this again is for people who often use the button on the navigation bar. So what you're going to do is come into the Good Luck application, and then you're going to go to Navstar. Once you're in, on the button side, you're going to come and configure, and then you're setting up a new one. So you're going to come to the base here and select button layout and then add a new button. Now you're able to add a page up and page down. Currently it supports 2 more buttons that can be added. So I can add the page up and page down and then proceed to move them from where it is to where I want it. So now that I have it here, I can hit on done. And if that's good for me, I'm going to hit on save, and immediately I'm going to be using that customized one. So we're going to have it here and here. So next time when you're inside, instead of scrolling on the screen, you can proceed to tap page up to move up and page down to move down. All right, moving on. So for instance, now that I'm doing a video, suddenly I receive a notification which is important, but then I know that I cannot respond to it now. One feature on your phone that you're probably not using is snoozing of notifications. Now, when I scroll down this way, here I have a notification here from my gym buddies, and then I want to snooze that very notification to come back probably after 30 minutes when I'm done with the videos that I'm making. I'm going to tap on this button and then proceed to hit that. And once I hit that, I've got time that I can set. So maybe in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to be done with the video, then I hit save. This means that in 30 minutes time, this notification is going to pop up again as some kind of a reminder so that I can now interact with them. Now let me show you how to put that button at the base of your notification so you also are able to do same, snoozing those notifications. So what you're going to do is scroll down and go into settings, scroll down until you reach notifications. Once here, you're going to look for the advanced settings here, and then you're going to see here show snooze button. In the absence of the snooze button, this is how it's going to look like. No snooze button. And you can see there that when I turned off the snooze button, immediately the notification came back because there's no snoozing being done. But once we toggle on the snooze button and we scroll down, tap here, we're going to have it there, and then we can set it for the next 15 minutes, and there we have it. So try this, use this, and let me know in the comment section whether it worked for you. Moving on. Now, a very simple thing that most people are not playing with or are not adjusting because they kind of feel it's not adjustable is the placement of the edge panel bar. Now the edge panel you see there is actually movable. So if you're right-handed, Yes, it's good on your right side, but what if you're left-handed? Yes, your phone actually allows you to move it by holding onto it that way and then moving it to any location that you want. So if you want it all the way on the left, you can. If you want it all the way on the right, you can. All the way down there, you can. Just drop it there. All the way on the left side down there, you can. The natural resting position for me to use it is here. So in my case, I'm able to leave it there. This is simple, but you'll be shocked that some people have never tried. So if this seems trivial for you, don't worry. Maybe this part of the video is for someone else. Moving on. Here, if you look carefully, here we've got tabs. All my tabs that I've opened are all up here. You might be saying, is he using a different kind of Samsung internet application? The answer is no. All that lives within your phone. Now let me show you how to customize your Samsung internet browser to look exactly like this or more. And also take note, I have a bookmark here. So if I want to bookmark a page, I can just tap on this and then immediately that page has also been bookmarked. All right. So yes, let me show you. You can come here with these three lines here, tap on it, and then sitting in settings is the ability to change the layout and menu. So you're going to tap on this feature and then you have all of this. Now there's a small illustration up here that is going to be showing you what the changes you are effecting are looking like. So if I tap here, which says show address bar at the bottom, if you're one person who doesn't want to go all the way up to interact with your address bar, you can always tap on it and you can see it come down there. So if I select that, you can see that now it's at the base. But for me personally, that's not how I roll. So I could always come here, back here, and then keep it up there. Now on that very bar, we can show the tab bar, which is what you see mine having. If I toggle this off and I go back, you will see that my tab bar is no more there. But with this toggled on, my tab bar is going to come there. And if I want the bookmark bar to also show, we can always do that. If you want the menu bar to still show while you're scrolling, you can do that. Now for me, I turn that off because let's look at something here. Once I start scrolling, I want it to be able to go to the top and then reduce how it impacts my screen, except when I'm scrolling down, and then it's going to come there. But if that is not how you want it, you could always come back here and then toggle that so you leave it working. So wherever I scroll, I'm still going to have it up there. So all these customizations can actually be done just by coming in here. All right. If there's more customizations you want, you can come here into customize menu, where here you've got what you get in your menu. The option to add to a screen is there. If you want to see saved ones, downloads and all that, you could always play around with all of them and more buttons that you can move into place. All right. So customize yours and let me know. Move. All right. So still back in the Samsung internet application, there is more that it can do. Let's talk about how we can benefit from its AI features inside it. Now, this already has got AI inbuilt that's able to summarize, is able to even read it out loud to you and translate the entire page to the language that you want. Now, let me show you. Sitting at the base here is the AI tool. So you can tap on it and then have the whole page summarized for you this way. So the whole page here has been summarized for you. If you want the summary translated, you can just hit on translate and have it translated for you into the language of your choosing. So you just select the language there. Now, if this is not what you want, and for instance, you're stepping away from your phone, so you want your phone to be reading out the article for you, it can do that. Same place, you're going to now come to read highlights aloud. So you can select that and everything is going to come here and start reading out.
Primarily played in casinos worldwide.
Now, truth of the matter is the voice is not the best, but it can still read it. Good thing is, if the voice is okay for you, you could even increase the speed at which it's reading. Myself, I listen to things at 2 times minimum. That's unfortunately my case. So I'm always able to use this feature at, let's say, 2 times and read an article faster than usually someone would. And even in the instance when it's reading, you could always select translate and it's going to translate it to the language that you want. In this case, that is Espanol. So it's going to be reading it out in Spanish like that. All right, so if you want to move forward, you can tap on that and it's going to move forward. If you want to move a paragraph back, you can also do that. And good thing is, if there's a particular part inside that you want to, you can just tap on that place and it's going to read from that point. Right? Try these features also in your Samsung internet application if you haven't, or if you're not using it, and let me know in the comment section how that worked for you. All right, moving on. From now, for instance, you're in a dark room and then you move outside. Usually your phone takes some time to switch from a very dark screen to a brighter screen, or you're outside and you come inside. Whereas your eyes, rods and cones would adapt quickly, it's going to take your phone, or it seems to be taking your phone a bit of time to move the brightness down. So you have to be squinting to look at your screen. Well, that could change, and I'm going to be showing you how to effect that. Now let's look at the screen right now. When I come here, you can see here my brightness level, and note that it has been set to adaptive brightness. So that means if the light on the sensor increases, then the screen should be getting brighter, and when the light reduces, the screen should be dropping. Okay, now I'm going to bring this light very close and let's look at it. We see the speed at which it moves, and then when I take the light away, we're going to see the speed at which it reduces. So we see that is a bit slow. So if you had come from a very well lit or very harsh light environment outside and you come into your room, it's going to be taking this time for the phone to adapt the brightness to that of the room. Now let me show you a way you can control that. So you can come here into Good Look again, and once you're in Good Look, you're going to scroll down until you see Display Assistant. So Display Assistant. Once you're in here, you're going to come here into Adaptive Brightness option and select this. Currently it's at ×1, which is slow. If you like, you can take it to ×4, which is going to make it 4 times faster. So it's going to be quicker to adapt your brightness to the environment than usual. All right, so let's look at an example here. So I'm going to scroll down here, and now we have the brightness again. I'm going to bring the light to it and let's watch. Okay, so that's fast, and when we get into a darker space, we see that move fast. So this is a way you can quickly adapt your screen brightness to your surrounding using the Good Look application that's Display Assistant. On our phones, there are definitely applications that we often use, but we often use particular parts of the application. Like, for example, if I was going into camera, I probably would be going to take a selfie immediately, or going into pro video mode because I shoot content with my phone. Or let's say I'm going into gallery, there's often a particular part of the gallery that I want to go into. Maybe my favorites, maybe a particular album. Now, one thing we don't realize is we could put that very part of the application as a main icon on your screen, so that if I'm going to take a photo, instead of coming here into my camera and then now switch the camera forward to take a selfie, whenever I need to take a selfie, I can immediately tap on that and immediately I'm in my selfie mode. So let me show you how to build this. So what you're basically going to do is take an application that you like, that has a particular part that you go inside to interact with, and then hold on that application while it's on your home screen. You're going to get a pop-up like this where you can select whichever particular one option that you often use. So in here we can see take selfie, we can see record videos, or take portrait. If you come into the Samsung internet, when we hold on to it, we can get an option to open a new tab, and whichever one you like, you're going to hold on to it now and bring it to your screen. So anytime you tap on it, for example here, we're going to have a new tab open. You can do this even for your gallery, and hold on to your gallery and you can get search gallery. So immediately you tap on, you set that option as a shortcut and tap on it, you're going to be searching recent. If you select recent, that same thing, favorites, that's the same thing you're going to get. All right, so there you have it, some other feature that you're probably not using. Moving on, let's speak about scanning documents, which seems to be a great thing that most of us do. But I'm sure in your head now you're thinking about going into the camera application, and then once you've done that, hovering your camera over an item and waiting for it for a while, and then it's going to tell you to keep still, and then it's going to be processing and all of this. No, that's not what I'm talking about. There is another that is sitting on your phone, and let me show you how to get the benefit of that. Back to the screen, we can come into our Google Drive. which there we have it. Google Drive is right there. So we can hold on to our Google Drive, and then there is the option to scan. So using the previous feature I just showed you, we can hold on to scan and then move scan to whichever location that we want. So let's put scan here. I'm going to move scan all the way to here. All right. When I tap on this scan feature, I'm able to now scan by just showing to the screen, and immediately it's going to capture it. Okay. All right. Okay, and that's very fast. As you're seeing, while all this is going on, it's putting it all in the base here, at the base here, where it's trying to make it all into one complete document. So if I tap on this, we can see this is how it looks. It's currently enhanced. You can apply filters to it across all of them, applying across all of them. If you want them all grayed out, you can do that. Or if you want to crop and rotate, for example, in this case, I can always come here, move that there, move this there, move that right there, just get it in shape. And then once I'm done, I can apply that, and then it's going to come this way. So you can look through and you can see it's done a fantastic job. I want to rotate that. I can tap on this and rotate it the way I want it. So rotate it to that level, put that where I want to put it, and apply it. And now we have it all looking this way. Great thing is, now I'm going to hit on next. And once I've hit on next, it's going to now be saving it as a PDF file that almost everyone can read it. Or we get the option to save it also as JPEG. So the next time you want to scan something, try this. Let me know in the comment section how useful it was to you. And on that note, we have come to the end of today's video. It's my hope that you are able to learn something new in today's video, and you are leaving this video excited. If you loved it, let me know in the comment section and give the video a like. If there was something I didn't mention that you wanted me to mention, kindly feel free to drop it in the comment section, as the comment section is where we can communicate a lot. Thank you all for watching, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like, smash the subscribe button to come back for more, and until the next video, peace out.